What's up, Big Rapids? I'm Chris Jane.
And I'm Pat Brooks.
And before we even jump into the show, we just want to let you know how appreciative we are that you're here, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what you look like or what you've done. You're a loved and valuable part of this community, and we're so glad you tuned in. We will try not to waste even a moment of your precious time. Pat, how are you, sir?
I'm wonderful, as always. Thank you for everybody tapping in, tuning in. We appreciate the likes, the subscribes, the comments. Be a friend, tell a friend, share it.
Yeah, it's growing.
Yes.
Growing organically, the best type of growth.
100%.
Love it.
Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. Do I look any more relaxed?
I'm not going to lie. I was expecting a little bit more of a tan.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I like being
Alabaster
around
skin.
the sun, but I try not to get directly in it too
fair.
much. You
That's
know,
fair.
I spend my time, fully shaded as much as possible.
Lifelong of sun, I'm sure you know.
I mean, look at me. I'd be dead in a year if I did. You know what I mean? Like I have. It was a great trip. Yeah. I got to see all of my siblings that sort of live in that section of the country. I saw my brother Rob in the Carolinas. I saw my my half sister in Florida, and I don't even think they put sunscreen on down there. A lot of people, that's just the way they live. They don't care. They don't even think about it. I would be dead in a year.
Yeah. To be fair, like I will sunscreen lightly the first day on vacation, and then I just don't. So
see, Siobhan,
I love it.
She's like Superman. You know how Superman charges in the sun?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's what she does. That first day, she wants to catch a full dose of kryptonite,
D, just
of
me.
Of the Earth's yellow sun,
Callous my skin.
And then it seems like she would burn, right? She gets very, very red, but it overnight just turns right into a tan.
She's from Florida, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's got that incredible genetics that allow her to do that stuff. My kids, fortunately, seem to take after her because they're both allergic to sunscreen. So that makes me. I've tried like every different kind. There's like one or two we can use for them.
They both tan pretty
They both
well.
tan great. They don't really worry about it. And thankfully, they didn't have my hairline, because otherwise Jeremiah would already be in trouble.
Yeah,
but he's handsome, full head of hair. And he's taller than me, so he's doing great. He's doing great.
Checking all the boxes.
That's all you could hope for him, right? Anyway, the Gulf Coast did not disappoint. I don't even know that it rained.
I was gonna say weather was good
for more than 5 minutes, like it does down there. It was sunny.
While you're sleeping,
it was clear.
Feel it in the morning or something. It rained last night.
Yep, it was hot every day, sunny every day. We got to do a lot of stuff, although I will say I did not realize the extent of the damage from Helene. From that last storm season. Apparently, they got hit twice. Sort of, the coast there got hit by two storms.
Like within 10 days or something, right? 2 weeks.
I can't remember now.
It felt like it was back to back.
I mean, don't ask me about dates and times. All I remember, it was back last fall, and it was devastating.
Yes.
But and that comes on the heels of a bad season about a year and a half, 2 years ago in Fort Myers area, where they got just destroyed. Anyway. Our beloved sort of Gulf Coast area between Clearwater and St. Pete Beach, a lot of damage. A lot of our favorite places were disappointing. Are still not open.
Ouch.
And a couple of the major ones, like your Krabbies of John's Pass, which I mean normally it feels like there's 1,000 people there at all times.
Yeah.
Completely shuttered, and it's probably going to be at least another year.
That's sad.
Yep. Shrimp or Sharkies, Caddies, all of these great beach places. A lot of them just, still devastated.
Right.
So
that's unfortunate. I mean, we don't tend to really feel it up here as much, and you don't really. If you don't live it, you don't understand the impact it can really have. We talk about what COVID did to Big Rapids.
Sure, there's a lot of challenges living in Michigan. We're hard to get to. We're hard to get out of. But we're insulated from a lot of things that happen to other areas, and we don't feel it as much. We did not have to fight lines. We didn't have to wait at restaurants. I took
silver lining.
I took Michaela, the young lady who's been staying with us. I took her she's never been to any of that stuff, so I took her parasailing. I have not done that since I was probably her age or maybe a little older.
Very cool. I did it for the first time like a couple of years ago. It was the very first time. It was so much fun.
So we did that. We went on a dolphin ride. We went on like a sunset cruise. You know what I
Some
mean?
boats type
We went on at least a few boat
Nice.
rides. We went to the sponge
How's
docks.
Noble love the boats?
He does, but it's
Unnecessary motion and
nah. He's all good with that, but he mostly is like over it. He was like, "Yeah, can I have your phone?"
Right. Yeah. So same thing any
you're
other
like,
kid would
Noble,
do, right?
Look, it's a manatee, and he's like, "Cool." You know what I mean?
It's a typical teenager.
Typical kid, I guess. Yeah,
preteen. Yeah.
But I tell you what, I was like a kid down there. I really, my sister took me to this botanical garden. I don't know if it was a botanical garden. It was some sort of a retreat for injured animals, mostly birds, like predator, like big, powerful birds that
and help back to life.
Yeah, hawks, and there was a couple of bald eagles, no cage because they can't fly away.
Yeah.
Just a short fence between us and them.
That's too cool.
A hippo, just out there looking at us. Manatees.
Isn't it funny? We talked about this before you left about how like you were excited to have her experience these things that you guys have been able to do, but every time you go somewhere, even if you've been there a million times, you always. The different emotions arise. Like a different outlook of life is kind of maybe in that moment. It affects it. And I think
agree.
It makes vacations different, even if you take the same one.
It helps you to appreciate the things that you love or that you could take for granted because we've been on this vacation before or whatever. But you're right. Getting to experience it again through your children's eyes or through other people's eyes, make it fun. Which is why I'm looking forward to doing more of that type of vacationing with friends. As they get older, you know what I mean? As we get older and our kids are more stable,
exactly.
It'll be easier for us to do friend trips or whatever.
I seen people on Facebook over spring break that, no kids. They just went out with their friends on spring break because their kids are all graduated. And I thought, you know what? That's
a lot of our mutual friends have kids the same age, so it's pretty cool that they can go and share spaces or meet up on trips.
Yep.
And we've done that in the past, but our kids are older now, and Noble's not that social and that kind of thing. And Jeremiah's working, so he didn't even, he didn't come. But anyway, so the area was pretty roughed up. I'll tell you what, it got pretty banged up by the storms. It's going to be a while, but there's a lot of work down there to be had, cleaning up after it and rebuilding stuff. People are going to be building some. Unfortunately, what happens is a lot of the homes that were affordable are now condemned.
Yep.
And those were the ones that were rented or were able to be rented or lived in by the people who work on the beach, and now those people are having to find somewhere else. And then those places will be torn down and really beautiful homes will be built.
New Airbnbs and vacation places,
new
mansions, new condos. Yeah.
Anyway, we got back and immediately it was right back to
snow and cold and ridiculousness.
Exactly right. I walked Noble to school, and it was like this. It was like the driving snow type of a snow. I wish I'd had goggles on.
It was like that the whole time you were gone.
Yeah.
So crap.
And then immediately right back to work, I had a beautiful house to list. Glad to have, see real estate's picking back up. But county commission stuff, we've been in Lansing the last day and a half.
Back to the busy life, man.
Man, I know. Right when I wanted to be back here, focusing on some stuff, we had to be in Lansing for a couple of days. Boy, there's a lot going on, though. A lot going on at the state level, a lot going on at the federal level, obviously. And because it's happening so quickly, it's kind of hard to pin down whether it's good, bad, which pieces are good or bad.
It's hard to you watch the news and you're like, I don't know. Am I upset? Am I not upset? What's happening here?
Yeah, it just depends on what channel you're watching.
That's true too.
But it does feel like they're like they're bronc riders, like they're cowboys
holding on 8 seconds,
kind of a thing. But anyway. They're not ringing any alarm bells or anything like that. Fortunately, the state of Michigan's in really good shape.
You hear that? We're okay.
We're okay. I mean, we're way behind on the roads. I'm not going to lie to you folks, but we've all known that. But Augusta County's in good shape. We're okay for now. A little concerned about our schools. What's gonna happen here if everything transfers to the state, and then the Axe My Tax people, if they were able to be successful, there would be no funding for schools. So there's definitely some craziness happening in the world. Makes me want to just focus more on doing stuff like this with you,
right here.
Doing more music
Golf
for kids.
is
You know what I get
coming
to do this week?
soon. Oh, yeah.
Before we talk about the Masters,
Yeah.
I get to do a drum circle for the Girl Scouts of America this week.
Fun.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
First off, I wasn't even sure we had traditional Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts anymore. I know that other groups have stepped up, but it's been a minute since I really, since I knew that Big Rapids had a group like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they reached out, the Girl Scouts, and asked if I would put on a drum circle for their group this Friday at the that Stone Hatchery building
up there in Paris.
In Paris,
Yeah.
Isn't that going to be cool?
That is cool.
I mean, can you imagine
Acoustics
the sound
in that building?
I know.
Yeah.
The sound's going to be
wild.
amazing. I can't wait. So, there's plenty of good if you just know where to look.
Oh, for sure.
Will there be cookies involved?
There should be.
I was expecting to be paid in cookies.
I feel like that's
do you think
currency, right?
Do you think they're going to be offended if I ask? I mean, I was kind of expecting that's how they would take care of me.
3 dozen cookies.
A couple dozen.
There's not a box of Thin Mints. They need to get stepping.
That's Dom saying that.
Yeah,
but,
there we go.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
To be fair, I don't need the. I had vowed I was going to just sort of cut sugar, and kind of maybe go on like a bit of a hard 75 or something like that.
There you go.
Get start getting fit, start getting ready for this summer.
Summer body
start
right
taking
around the
care of
corner.
myself a little bit better.
Just in time.
Yeah.
What kind of sin is in your life that you can't have sugar? That's just not right.
Well, I saw what Pastor Paul has done for himself by getting rid of it, and it makes me wonder how I could look and feel if I got rid of it. So it's not even about like, do I want it, not want it? I just see how good the dude looks, how healthy he looks, how much younger
Sometimes
he
that's all
looks.
it takes.
And I'm like,
Seeing somebody else living
no
in it
kidding.
good, and
I'm like,
what'd
man,
you do?
I've not been trending in that direction. I've been trending the other direction.
You're on vacation, though.
No, before that,
right.
For the last year, I've been trending the wrong direction. So, time to take the bull by the horns.
Real quick, while you were gone, I was able to attend the Peaks Comedy Show.
Oh, you did?
That was really fun. It was a good time. They did a really good job of like setting up the area so like the comedians could interact and stuff. They had a local talent that was up there, very fun kid who he only did like a short 2-minute thing, but good for
awesome,
him. You know,
man.
when he comes as a Ferris kid, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But that was really, really cool. And unfortunately, it was the last one for a little while. For the season. But definitely going to circle back around. Run into a ton of friends there that I ain't seen in a couple.
That's great.
A little while. But no, that was fun.
I'm really happy for those guys.
Yeah.
I see their social media game is on point. I'm always seeing stuff from them. I hope they can continue to book. Now they're probably going to be booked up with weddings and
I'm sure.
Family reunions and stuff like that. That's
a
probably
Thursday night comedy show on the weekends of wedding season and stuff. I'm sure it's too much of a headache.
Wouldn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
But hey, listen. You're going to hear this from me multiple times. I'm going to be like the Stark family in Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. I know we just got out of it, but I'm already. I know it's going to be here before you know it. I'm both looking forward to getting.
This is from somebody that goes to Florida, lives it up for a week, comes back to freezing cold.
I always try to have a silver lining, and the silver lining will be at least we'll get back to snowboarding. But this was a tough winter for a lot of people, and one of the hardest ones I've seen. And I am not looking forward to the next one. So I want to really focus and make hay and be present. And
hopefully this slows our year down. You know what I mean? Our ability to dive in every week, and we're going to slow down.
I promise you it will not. It will only increase. I'm telling you, this year is going to fly by. But let's be more intentional. Let's try to be focused.
I like
be
that.
In the moment,
goal oriented.
Yeah, I spent last night in my room instead of going to the Lugnuts game. I had a ticket to the Lugnuts game. It was about 30 degrees. I felt really bad for the players. I mean, I could have been in a warm box eating pizza and hot dogs and stuff, but instead I stayed in, had some work to do, but I just wrote a list of some goals that I would like to accomplish this year to just set us up for the future that we really would like to have. I know you do that kind of stuff too.
For sure.
In fact, you've been crushing goals right and left.
I've been
trying
couple
to
years. Because the thing is as soon as you cross one out, you got to write another one, and just working towards the next one.
That's right, man. Better every day. That's my motto.
Yep.
BED. Better every day.
I love that.
Okay. The comedy show. I want to talk golf now. if it's okay.
Yes,
So
that's fine.
one of the benefits of staying in like a hotel or whatever is that you can just turn, you don't know the channels really, but you can count on some channels.
Yeah.
And on the Masters week, there's only one channel that was ever on my TV.
Yes.
The Golf Channel.
Of course.
And so
The coverage.
I love
Most
the
wives,
pre-Masters coverage.
It'd be ridiculous to most people, but I eat it
I
up.
love all of it. I'll listen to them talk about the meals that the players are going to eat together.
The ball structures, the different clubs, this amateur story, this pro story.
The history of the tournament.
100%.
The snacks that you can get at the tournament, the traditions around the tournament.
We got to go.
I would love to.
Yes.
I've heard
Let's cancel
that you're
spring break
not
for
able
next year
to
with
use
our
your
families.
phone there.
Really?
I could be wrong on that. Dom, you may want to fact check me on that. Are spectators allowed to have their phones at Augusta for the Masters tournament?
That's a good one.
It's the only one of the championships that is played at the same course every year. It's what makes it unique, and it has just 100 years of tradition there. So
Old school rules that have slowly changed over the years to accommodate some outdated, unfortunately.
you know what my favorite part is? It's the amateurs that get to play.
That's my favorite too. 100%.
And I love getting to see these kids' reaction to the honor of getting to play maybe a practice round even with some of their heroes.
Yeah.
And then some of them even get paired up during the tournament, and they're there playing around with Tiger Woods. You know what I mean? It's their hero, their lifelong hero, or any of those guys.
Well, and because it's the Masters, if you win the Masters, even if you're not in the PGA, you're always
Correct.
welcome
You're
back.
part of it forever.
So you're welcoming back some legends, some serious golf legends every year, and it might be the only time you see them throughout the year. So no, I love the Masters, man.
Yep.
It's COVID really drove our house
Have I ever told
into
you
it.
my Augusta story? All right, so
Augusta, Georgia.
warning: Augusta has a different side to it as well. I never got to go to the Masters tournament, but when I was a young man working in the carnivals, Augusta, Georgia, also was the home of the carnival that James Brown, the king of king of soul, that he worked at. So that's where he was from, and worked I guess famously worked the Ferris wheel or something like that before he got some success.
Good for him.
Anyway, at least that's the story they told me. Anyway, rough town. One of the roughest places I've ever stayed. So rough that while all the rest of the crew decided to rent a hotel maybe it was a motel, honestly, like a double-decker motel kind of a place.
Outside doors.
Yeah. I chose to stay on the lot in the truck because I knew I'd be safer there. Oof. And turns out, they got mugged in their room. They got taped up, robbed because they trusted some girls that were, maybe of the variety.
Scandalous.
Yeah. And so, I have managed to avoid all that, but still on my way one evening to the store, I managed to get jumped and nearly murdered, nearly killed. It was one of the times in my young life where I was faced with a pistol.
We need to get you back in
I don't want to tell the
Augusta.
whole story because I know that kids watch this too, and I want to make sure it stays super friendly. But have an awareness when you're out and about. Always have an awareness and know that it's okay to run sometimes too. You know what I mean? It's okay to just, if you're in a bad situation, go back to where it's safe and be there.
100%.
Okay, kids?
Yeah.
Today's segment not brought to you by the Augusta Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, sorry, Augusta. I know that probably hurts my chances of ever being invited for the tournament, but that's what happened to me. Yeah. Okay, that was a long time ago. I'm sure it's cleaned up a little bit.
We need to get you a different experience.
I would love to go wash the taste of that
golf
out.
shoes on and a hot dog, glizzy
Absolutely.
at the turn, amen corner.
Did you know you can get all of the snacks at the tournament? You can get them all for $30 total.
Let's go.
I mean, I saw the thing. It was like 5 sandwiches, couple bags of chips, several other snacks, sodas, $30
Shout
total.
out making it affordable.
I know,
to
and they
these events
keep it
again.
at that price.
We went to $2 dogs and beers on Friday down at
It's
Griffin's.
almost like you feel like you're stealing from them.
Yeah.
I had to have McDonald's.
Living it rich, man.
I had to have McDonald's for breakfast once. If you want an egg, I mean, now your breakfast sandwich is $5.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like before you have a hash brown.
Yeah.
I had a sandwich and a hash brown was $7.50. McDonald's breakfast. What are we doing here? I don't know. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going down ever. Maybe the rate of it going up will slow down, but I don't think it's coming down. Folks, we're going to have to We're going to have to get by with less.
Expect the $8 bagel sandwich.
The man next to me chose to go without the egg. And he nudged me and says, see, I go without the egg now.
Save
$5. They get you. Yeah, man, they get you. What a time to be alive.
Oh, man, that's good.
All right, what else?
Well, while you were also gone, we finished up some March Madness. Unfortunately, our beloved
Did I win?
state
Did I win?
teams did not win.
What?
Yeah, State did not.
What?
Nor did Michigan.
Oh.
We both picked State.
No,
so.
I did see Michigan State lose. I knew I was out of it.
It was close. I felt good about it, but,
Good games.
There was a lot of good
Holy
basketball
cow.
for sure. Couple blowouts in a couple games that were a little later.
I only saw nail biters.
Yeah.
The few games I got to see were nail biters.
Well, even down with the national champion on Monday.
I didn't get to see it.
Florida was down, up to 12 at some point just into the second half and stormed back and
Florida won.
So yeah,
I missed
beat
it.
Houston.
We left Florida just before they had something to celebrate.
Yeah. So no, we do have our bracket challenge.
Okay.
And the results are in.
I was gonna say before we talk about who won, then since clearly we didn't win.
Correct.
Could we talk about how we did, the three of us?
Yes, let's go there.
Because
could we not talk about that? In fact, I would rather us
Well,
talk about
let's
anything
start
else.
with our good friend Dom.
That's Dom saying he doesn't want to, so I'm guessing he lost. Oh yeah, Dom is nearly last place.
I was 31.
31 of 33. That's our
I wasn't going to
producer.
say how many there actually were. I was just going to say I was 31.
I again am so proud that we had 33 with one night's notice to sign up. That is amazing. And next year we'll give you guys a lot more notice.
Job,
I have a feeling that I'm going to do better. I'll be a better guesser next year.
Yeah, probably.
I won't let my hometown.
It was pretty chalk. I mean, like the top Final Four were all number ones. Like top to 8 teams made it to the Elite 8. It was pretty chalk. So
well, maybe that's the way to go for next year.
Ride this thing. But I got you in 26th.
Okay, all right, I'm okay with that. So not great. That's
well above
barely above Dom, really.
But probably well above him. And then I'm here in 27th.
I am so proud of you, bud. You redeemed yourself. You came back. You came back. It's a Cinderella story.
By 120 points when we lost to First by about 700 points. So.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Josh Piles, Katie Brooks, Big Sherm, T-Dart, Charlie Hustle. These are all sort of... Oh, Brandy's up there too.
Yeah.
Whoa, in fifth
Charlie
place.
Needed Houston to win, and he would have took the cake.
Wow.
But unfortunately.
Well, shout out to all those guys. Even I see Jacob Russell down there. Those are all people who beat us, solidly beat us.
Including Jiggy Whitney.
But listen, we've got a little bit of a trouble here because we don't know who won.
Yeah, I don't know
I can see that Andy Valdespina, one of our good friends in town here. He's a local mortgage guy with Mercantile Bank. He is in second place. So automatically, the guy's going to get one of the two prizes. And just to remind you, the two prizes were a round of golf, nine holes at Cat Key, and the other one is a gift card to Schuberg's, $50 at Schuberg's. And we're going to let the number one winner pick which one they want.
Whoever it is.
So, but because it says ESPN fan, blah, 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 boom, picks one, we can't tell who it is. So you're going to have to let us know. Otherwise, Andy will get to pick which one he wants. And D. Radel.
I got Drew Radel, yeah.
Andrew Radel, awesome. Yeah, good people we know. But boy, I'd love to hear... Take off the mask, ESPN fan 69 or whatever it is there. Take off the mask. Let us know. Let us see. Let us behold the winner.
We got a winner here.
We want to be able to celebrate you. So next week at the latest, we're dishing out those prizes, and so sometime
reach
you
out
got to let us know.
Facebook page,
and that is it is whatsupbigrapids@gmail.com.
That too. Yep.
We should get a shorter one.
We should.
WU. Big Rapids. I doubt I could get WUBR. Dom, would you check for us sometime this week? See if we can get WUBR@gmail.com. That'd be great.
Or also the Facebook page.
Facebook page, whatever. Yes, Let us know if you are the winner. Maybe
comment
you can,
on this reel.
Yeah,
I'm sure
you can prove it.
We need to find this person.
Yeah, we got to find you so that we can get you your due prize. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody who
who participated.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
I had to miss participating in the grand opening of a new shop that came to Big Rapids this week. Did you get in there?
I unfortunately did not. We were down on our little staycation thing Friday night into Saturday. And
yeah, I'm going to go tomorrow.
Yeah, I also wanted to get down there probably tomorrow.
Maybe we meet up. We'll go check it out together. It's Threadz North.
Yep.
A clothing store that seems to feature outdoor style clothing.
Sustainable clothing.
Yeah, cool brands like Patagonia type stuff, right?
Kavu and I don't
nice. I don't know that brand.
It's all nice stuff.
Okay, cool.
I know that. So
great. So
definitely something unique to Big Rapids.
Threadz
we like
North
that.
opened in the original Yellow Window location. If you remember,
across from Rogers.
Yeah, it's kind of across from Rogers Jewelers, kind of next door to Sun Title and Loom.
Yep.
It's right in that sort of strip of stores. Most recently, I think it was the office for the Democratic Party of Augusta County during the last election cycle.
Yep.
So that's the spot. Really cool building. I've always liked that space. So wishing them well.
Yeah, and then right around the corner, we did a balloon drop off for a place that didn't really do like a grand opening and stuff, but the new salon called Gems is in the Cardinal Spa, old Cardinal Spa right there on Maple Street. So we stopped in with the chamber and dropped off balloons and welcomed them too. So
awesome, another new business downtown.
Yeah. And then I also heard of one other new one. Was a new pet store somewhere here in town.
No kidding.
Too. I can't remember where it was. We'll have to look into it and get back to it.
New
But
pet
it was
store.
another opportunity for a pet store here in town. So
Great. Of course, the Treetops guys got started.
Yep. That grand opening's
it's still in a couple days, so you might see this. You might see this on the 11th is the grand opening. They're going to do some free stuff, free giveaways to the first bunch of people who come in. They're having flash sales, small tattoos, cheap that you can get done quick.
get something.
I just, you know what, Siobhan and I got one while we got matching manatee tattoos.
I also got a tattoo while you were
You showed me.
Too, yeah.
I'm so glad I got to see it. Fantastic. We're not going to be whipping them. We're not showing them. This is not a visual medium for the most part. And I'm not taking my shirt off so much.
I'm not doing that either.
You know what was awesome though? We often, so when we travel, we like to get tattooed. You know what I mean? We call it tattooism. All right, so it's tricky. You can't just do it willy-nilly. You have to be careful.
To do your research.
Yeah, you got to do your research. So we've learned kind of how to pick some spots that work, but where they're clean and they're nice and they do good work and
good
nice
social
people
media
work there.
presence, good photos on their social media.
Tell you how you know
that?
if they have female tattoo artists. That is a good sign that it is a good place to work.
Well,
that is a clean
Dom.
place without a lot of screaming or yelling, a lot of weirdness. They do good work. You know, they're usually more about the art, not so much that they just were rebellious as teens. You know what I mean? They actually are artists.
Yeah.
And usually you can tell. You walk in, it feels like you're in an art gallery or a studio or something.
Someone's about to do something beautiful.
Instead of somebody's basement. And not, I mean, shout out to all the basement shop stuff. I love an old school, rough, kind of punk rock shop. I spent a lot of time in those too, but you got to know your spot.
Especially when you're not from the area.
Exactly right.
Yes.
So we've actually been in the shop a bunch of times now because it's when you visit the Tarpon Springs sponge docks, that is where they harvest all the sponges, or they used to. It's not that much of an industry anymore, but at one time it was millions of dollars a year worth of sponges they were pulling out. This was back in like the 30s. But anyway, so now it's just this great tourist strip there with a lot of shops and Greek pastry shops and candy shops and things like that. All that good stuff. But at the end there is a working marina, like with a seafood market where they actually bring in the catch daily.
Cool.
Right? And there's a great restaurant right next to it where they serve the fish. You know what I mean? So if you get the shrimp or you get grouper or whatever, it's pulled right out of the sea and you're eating it. Right. I mean, you can't get any more fresh than that. And so we always try to make it like one of the last things we do because it's sort of on the way back up. And we did that again this time. We took the kids so that they could see the place, had a great lunch, and then there's this little tattoo shop you can just sort of pop into. And I should have sent you the photo or posted a photo. The shop had a cat.
Oh yes, yeah, you were telling me about this. Yes.
Yeah, and I can't really remember there being like a tattoo shop cat very often. I've seen shop dogs.
I've maybe 1 or 2 cats. I feel like Light Touch had a cat back in the day.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I never spent a lot of time in there. But, so this shop, sometime around the hurricanes or whatever, one of the storms, this cat kind of made shelter in the shop, and they just fed it, and so it never left. And so she just hangs out. And her name is Skittles because she's a little skittish, but she loved Siobhan and I. And so she sat with us while we got our tattoos. And I don't know if that's healthy. I don't know if that's up to code. You know what I mean or not? I don't know what the health department
Florida's
would say.
different, so
Florida's
it's probably
a little different.
fine.
But boy, I wouldn't have it any other way. Have a little like
ESA cat action.
Yeah. What do they call that when you have like a little like an emotion? Yeah, emotional sport.
Yeah.
Thank you. ESA, huh?
Yeah,
wow, that's cool. You probably have to know that because of the rental business.
We do, yeah.
Speaking of which, I referred some nice folks your way this morning. So hopefully,
hopefully we
you
have
guys,
something for
yeah,
them.
I was going to say, hopefully you guys keep building the portfolio and keep getting it stocked up.
For sure.
So.
No, that's cool. A good cat, man. A cat make you feel good. And dogs, cats, I'm not particularly, in one
pets
or the other. But
really
pets,
make life.
They really do.
Yeah.
Worth
make
living,
life.
man.
Yeah.
I had a buddy that,
sweeter.
just had to put his dog down last week. And, you could tell it was beating him up, man. I felt bad for him. He just wanted to console him. And
yeah, we get incredibly like attached, don't we?
Yeah.
As people, you know.
when you come home from a crappy day and you walk in the door,
right?
They don't care. They've had a crappy day,
right? They're there
just
for
excited
you.
to see you.
That's right.
And dogs are man's best friend.
Yeah, and I'm telling you what, the last few years
cats are like having a teenage daughter.
Last few years have really made me a cat person. I love our cats, so much. Too. They got so much personality.
I've always kind of been a cat person too.
And our cats are so lovey that it's pretty great.
We got one.
They make us. It's true. They really do make you feel special. After everyone else has.
I mean, you do feed them and give them everything they need in life.
Everyone else treats you like a jerk, but then you come home and you feel good.
Right as you're about to turn in the driveway, someone cuts you off or something. That's it.
Yeah. Or you've been a jerk. Maybe you've been out all day being kind of jerky. Then you come home and you're able to just be like, okay, these guys.
Quick sorry for all those people you had to be around that day. But
also, try again tomorrow.
Also open. I got to run over there yesterday. The new taco place is
open?
Yes.
No kidding.
Yeah. I was actually walking around town. Buddy Chad stops and said that he had a soft opening, so I went over and grabbed some lunch.
Soft opening. It was Taco Frieda.
Taco Frieda, yeah.
Taco Frieda Cantina or something.
Yes.
We're probably wrong.
The Raven.
The old Raven location. It's now a
you guys
taco
are absolutely right.
Oh, hey. Put it on the calendar.
Let's go.
Put it on the calendar.
Here we go.
Killing it.
No, it was. It's well decorated in there. It's the same type of setup that's been in there, right? The bar's in the same spot.
Sure.
All that kind of
they
stuff,
weren't going to move it,
right? But the decorations are up, and the menu is essentially that. It's tacos. Right?
Love it.
Single
simple
tacos, and then they had a nice long beverage menu on the other side, including mocktails for those.
Good. We're giving it up for a while.
Yeah. So. No, it was.
I'm giving it up for a while.
I was excited.
I had. I think I'm going to go. Like I said, maybe 60 days or 90 days or something like that. Try to, reset a little bit, get a little healthier.
A lot of people. There's a lot of sugar in any of those. They had a skinny margarita, which got me a little excited, but it's still got stuff in it. So.
Yeah, not doing.
Was that just
no
a really
sugar.
tall glass?
No.
Just a very tall, thin glass.
The one that you don't do this when you drink because it's so much sugar. But no, they opened, and I'm sure they'll look at their Facebook. They'll have more announcements of maybe a grand opening of some sort. But it was a soft opening situation, and the food was good. I enjoyed it. So
good. Yeah, man. Hard to beat.
Beef, chicken, and perch.
I'll grab them sometimes before Rotary.
Yeah,
be a nice little meal.
Nice addition to downtown again to have some quick food. So,
all right. I see you made a note about the Fairgrounds.
Yes.
What's up at the Fairgrounds?
I actually talked to the president the other day, and he asked to make sure that I'd put the message out for pickup, but it is Sunday at 10. So if you have your RV, you're storing stuff out there at the campgrounds, 10 a.m. on Sunday, get out there and get it picked up. So I guess
for people like me who barely are aware of the situation, there is an opportunity if for those things that you winterize or whatever, your boats, your RVs, trailers, et cetera, that they do rent out some space for storage during the winter months. It's probably way too busy there in the summer months, which is why they want it cleared out now, right?
Right. Yep. They'll start prepping, and they'll start getting into like horse shows and stuff here soon.
So if you have something there, you know who you are already.
Right. Here's your reminder.
Yeah, here's your reminder.
Yeah.
This Sunday at the Fairgrounds.
Also, Saturday, I noticed this morning, I seen on Facebook, there's a parade downtown.
Oh, to honor the
Ferris football team.
Great.
Yeah, national champion parade downtown. I think Ferris is still looking for, if you have a business or a group or whatever and you want to do it on Saturday, reach out to them.
Why don't we have like a little golf cart or borrow one or something and do like a What's Up Big Rapids float? We got to get something going
and stuff. Yeah.
It's tell you what.
Busy summer.
I noticed that on TikTok we hit 1,000 subscribers, which now we don't follow. Yeah, we don't do anything on there except just post the reels. Yeah. So I mean, that was pretty cool. Thank you guys.
Thanks
you very much
for sure.
But it just made me think. There's like 40,000 people in Augusta County. Now, obviously, I think that's man, woman, and child.
Yeah.
And that's a rough estimate.
Right.
They're not all going to tune in, but it seems like we could probably, like, what is there a way we should try to figure out how can we get this show in front of, say half of that, maybe 20,000 people by the end of this year.
Honestly, I think maybe getting a float.
Maybe getting some.
I think maybe getting
because honestly, where do you get your news these days? From parades.
Hey guys, I just went on TikTok. Got us up to 1,001.
Hey! Wait, hold on. You didn't follow us on TikTok?
I hate to break.
Keep moving along.
I'm not on. Wasn't really on there. So I hate to break to you, but we actually were at 1,002, so we must have dropped off a touch. But that's the thing about that site in particular; it fluctuates a lot. It seems like. So, but it just I think we should figure out a strategy for us to get this podcast in front of more people.
Yes,
because it's not going to be for everybody.
No,
we definitely are not for everybody. We're not very articulate. We're not very handsome. We don't know what we're talking about most of the time. We're ill prepared. We're not connected as not. Our equipment glitches. I could go. Should I go on?
We travel time though.
Yeah, our producer constantly has to correct us,
constantly,
etc.
We have winners of brackets that don't have names on them because we can't give out clear directions.
Yeah, exactly. We're a mess.
Yes,
but probably some people will dig it. And so I just think, let's see if we can get that. Let's see if we can get this in front of some more people. So whether that will mean some advertising opportunities or whether we're going to have to spend some money or whatever it is. But, let's do it.
Let's do it. No, for sure.
Let's do it. And you know what? Boom, look at that. I hope I can show it when we're putting this together. I hope you guys can see. What a photo.
That's a photo,
Look
man.
at that. Does that make you proud to be from Big Rapids?
Bulldog
pride, man.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Good for them.
I'm excited. I don't know if I'll be able to make it, though. I'll see. We'll see. I might be able to, actually. Speaking of Ferris, I noticed this around town.
I'm so glad you're bringing this up. The big event. Don't show the screen down because it won't be worth it.
No.
It's just a bunch of text, but we at least can see it. And I'm so glad you brought that up because that's this weekend too, right?
It is. Yeah. Coming up. I think it's Saturday, right?
I'm so sorry, you guys. Next year we will try to do a better job, but it might not be too late to sign up.
I don't know though.
Because it says they're looking for people still to help. We're talking about the big event, right? Ferris's big opportunity for their for students, but also other community members can help.
Yep.
This is their opportunity to do some community service where they get out and they transform people's yards. They can do sometimes they can do some small like I don't want to say construction, but like they can paint. They can do some other projects sometimes like that.
Yard work, landscaping.
Mostly it's yard work and landscaping. And let's be honest, we have a huge elder population that can use the help, man. It's hard to keep up.
For sure.
Especially with anything more than just maybe mowing the grass.
Yeah.
So to knock down some of the extra stuff that comes up over the years, get rid of the brush, not just have some hazard.
That refreshing after winter is needed. It's on our list to go around and just get inventory of all the houses and where they're at status-wise from a yard standpoint because the winters can tax on your lawn. And, and it's hard ultimately, they could probably do it themselves, but it would take them, into the summer before they got their yard where they wanted to. So shout out Ferris. I know they paused it last year. They're bringing it back this year, and they are looking for lawns to work on, is what I read.
Great. Okay, so here's what it says. I'll just read a couple things from it. The Big Event is a volunteering initiative aimed at bringing Ferris students and the community members of Big Rapids together. They're bringing it back Saturday, April 2nd. And community members can ask to be placed on the service list by emailing their Big Rapids address within 10 miles from Ferris State University to studentgovernment@ferris.edu. That's all one word, student government, spelled out the correct way, studentgovernment@ferris.edu. Email them your address and that you'd like to be on the list, or you can call if you're not an emailer, 231-591-2611. And they will get you on the list. That's 231-591-2611 so that you can get your property on the list for the big event, which has been going on 20 years now.
Yeah.
How about that? It's a way for them to give back to the community, and we salute them.
And maybe you're not a senior citizen or you have a disability, but maybe you know somebody, and maybe they could use the services.
Correct, or maybe life is just, maybe life is enough for you right now, and this is something that could really help out. Don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's the big event. Thank you, Pat.
I'd seen it driving through town, and I thought, oh my gosh, I can't forget that. I almost forgot it. And that's super important. So
yeah, I always try to remember to message my older clients that live in the area who have houses. You know what I mean? And honestly, it sneaks up on me most years. So I'm going to try to remember to put it in the calendar for next year, too.
I know it's got a quick deadline, too. I also noticed that, we brought up the Peaks earlier, but Angels of Action is hosting a Karaoke for a Cause on May 1st. I don't know a ton of details. I know you can get your tickets available through Angels of Action's Facebook page.
Great.
It is 6 to 9 on May 1st. Sing, support, and shine. This is for the Angels of Action.
Okay, an evening of music, laughter, and purpose at the Peaks, May 1st. Karaoke for a Cause to support Angels of Actions. Yep. How about that? And it looks like I see MEM over on the bottom left as a sponsor. Now, is that the student group?
It's probably
from Ferris?
It could be. Help putting it on.
Anyway, just so you guys know, every ticket, every song, every off-key moment directly helps provide weekend meals, literacy support, warm clothing, and dignity to children in Augusta and Osceola County. Okay, it's more than a night out. It's a chance to sing loud, give back, and be part of something beautiful. Mm-hmm. The mic is ready. Are you in?
No. I do not sing karaoke.
I'll be honest with you. I usually avoid karaoke like a plague, although I'm softening to it a bit as I get older. When I was younger, I don't know if it's just the musician in me or something about pitch and how I relate to music, but if I hear someone singing off key, it would be like nails on a chalkboard. It would be physically torturous.
I worked at a bar for a while, and that was my first experience. Years of karaoke, and bar karaoke is not even. Hopefully, this is going to be better. The whole point of it,
like I didn't realize it as a kid. What I realize now is that it's just a bit of fun. It's just a bit of fun. Yep. It's not supposed to be only for people who can sing. It's just fun. You celebrate everybody. So as I get older, I can usually, I guess it's been a while.
I have some memorable karaoke moments that I'll never be able to forget. Yeah. So, it's a memory builder too.
Maybe my decades of being in the church and hearing every different type of voice sing every different type of song.
What would you sing in karaoke?
Oh, I'm the worst about trying to pick. Yeah. Because, it's that old thing of like, I don't know. I know a ton of songs. What one song should you pick, right? I end up picking like a Talking Heads song or something so that I can just do like a weird, like just get into it, do like a weird performance type of thing instead of really trying to like belt a country song or something like that.
No.
I'm bad about picking.
I tried because I listened to a lot of rap music growing up. I would try karaoke rap music. Yeah. Very, very difficult. Even if you know the lyrics, it's hard to kind of just keep up because during karaoke, even in rap songs, they don't have someone talking and singing at the same time. And when you're in your car, there's always that help along, and it's different. It's different.
You're right.
That's
Trying to carry
Yeah.
it yourself with your own natural dry voice in the mic instead of
some Eminem or
instead
something.
of all of the production they had on their voice.
Yeah.
When he was singing.
And also, it might take him a couple tries.
That was
Sometimes
me
you don't
mimicking.
know it, but it's been cut together.
That was a nod to
Eminem,
yes,
rap god.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad you at least knew it because
Yeah.
I'm not like obviously I don't know as nearly as much about it as you, but I did see him do that the other day, and actually maybe it was a lady covering it, and she was really impressive. And
there's a couple. I've seen some really impressive videos of people covering that, or like,
dude,
hey, watch this person keep up.
Speaking of impressive videos, when you're on the road as much as I've been the last few, and other people are driving, you get, I saw a lot of cool, funny, heartwarming stuff. I shared one this week about a little boy, kind of reminded me of my son, that he's on the spectrum and has just a natural talent for piano, no training. And it was an immigrant family, and they were already kind of stretched thin and working hard. And so a stranger who kind of found out about this kid's talent gifted him like a $15,000 piano, bought it out of his inheritance. He had this inheritance money, decided to gift it to him. Crazy. And just one of those beautiful stories. And it made me think, on one of these weeks where we don't feel like we have as much going on, be fun to share some of those. Just do a kind of a reaction, a reaction pod to some of these cool stories in the world.
It's like feel good.
Yeah, good news. I was thinking of, or something like that,
Something
like a good
along those
news day,
lines.
or what was that thing that Jim from The Office did during COVID? He did
Some good news.
Some good news. Okay, let's just steal his thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, just something like that where we, if it's maybe we even find a way to work it in where we just bring a little bit of lighthearted fun from the internet, or some story from around the globe, and or some crazy story.
Speaking of crazy, I seen this yesterday, and the reason I seen it is even crazier because it feels like Game of Thrones brought it back. But the dire wolf
I saw
is
that
back
too.
10,000 years later.
I saw that too. I didn't have
George
a chance
R.
to
Martin
look into
is what I
it.
seen was a photo of it, and I thought it was fake. I thought it was from Game of Thrones, like some kind of prop, but it's real.
I thought that even the term like dire wolf was more like from mythology. I didn't think it was. I knew I had heard it before Game of Thrones, but I didn't think it was a real thing.
The company reviews magic it's using to bring back the species.
Colossal.
Is that a TV show, Game of Thrones? Is that what you guys are talking about there?
Yeah. Team took DNA from 13,000.
Don't watch it. We're not recommending it. All right, especially you kids, don't watch it.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it. 13,000-year-old tooth and a 72,000-year-old skull, and made a healthy dire wolf puppy out of the DNA from it.
Now that is wild. What a time to be alive. Now, what do you guys think? I mean, because already you have a group of people who thinks that once AI is smart enough to realize that we're a danger to it, it will just kill us.
Ultron.
And then,
that's why your robots only can have a 6-foot cord.
I think we should put all the AI on an extension cord.
Fair.
You're right. That way we could just kick the cord out.
Have you guys seen Age of Ultron? No. The Avengers movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the plot.
Oh, okay, right. You're right.
And
okay,
then
so
they
you
make
got
a robot
that group
that kills everyone, tries to kill everybody.
Right. So you get the group that thinks that generative AI, all of these tools will get so smart that eventually it's inevitable they'll realize we're slowing them down. We're actually using up way too many resources. And will want to eliminate us.
Yes.
We're doing a pretty good job of destroying ourselves. Yeah. So I'm not that concerned about that. But then on the other side, we are trying to bring Jurassic Park to the real world. That's the next step.
That is it. I mean, if you can do this with a wolf.
A 72,000-year-old skull and a 13,000-year-old tooth. And you can make a creature that hasn't been seen on the planet in that long. And I know they were doing that with the woolly mammoth like years ago. It's a matter of time before maybe it'll be robots versus dinosaurs. Now, I would buy a ticket to that. Take my money right now.
Yeah, we've seen both of those movies already.
Yeah.
AI versus dinosaurs.
Oh, that'd be sick. Jurassic Park 17.
Yeah,
right?
Versus The Matrix.
Yeah.
And you know what's nice
Bring
is
Chris Pratt with Scarlett Johansson.
AI will be able to write the movie for us and make it.
Which is,
we can probably watch it pretty soon.
I mean, I might watch it later.
You look kind of scared over there.
Well, I mean, my thing is like, I'm excited, right? If you have this technology to bring back something like this, but ultimately, it was extinct for a reason.
Oh, I see. Now, I was going to ask you about this. Do you think it's right or wrong to go messing with things that have died out? Now, I love, because unfortunately we have, like, for instance, let's bring it way forward to like one of these recent creatures that we've killed accidentally. We could, if we had the technology, be able to reintroduce things that through our human errors we've killed out.
Like the great elephant or owls
certain species of this or that. I mean, there's millions of species of animals. We've killed off quite a few.
Yeah,
through our own
recently,
through our own ignorance and our own arrogance and our own care. Be careful with that, whatever you're doing with your leg, you're gonna rip down our set here. But is it right? Should we mess with it, or should we just resign ourselves to the fact that everything is heading that way?
Slippery slope, man.
And it'll be us one day. What do you think?
I need to stop and get some more tinfoil for my tinfoil hat on the way home.
Well, this is something they're doing right now. You might have a dire wolf pet, at some point here.
That reminds me. Have you seen those cats that some people have? The big cats that are just massive.
Well, like Maine Coons?
Yeah, I've seen
even bigger
ones.
Well, I didn't know
full-size human-sized cats that people come in their house and they're giving them hugs.
Whoa.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like people like Mike Tyson and his tigers kind of a thing. But no, I do have a client. I did not realize that there is that there's a level of domestication in cats. Okay, and that some cats are not as domesticated, so they are feral to a certain degree.
Right.
And so depending on that degree, they look more like a bobcat.
Mm-hmm. That's what it looked like, was a bobcat.
They're bigger, they look more like a bobcat, and they're pretty close to just being wild, but they're kind of on the, somewhere on that path.
Back to that point about, again, you feed them, you love them, you care for them.
I don't know anything more than that, except that she told me, like, oh, this one is like an F whatever, an F3 or an F.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Like,
so there's
a hurricane.
There's like,
oh, man.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, man. I love that science is working on anything that, anything they can do to figure out this planet we're on, figure out this universe, figure out a way to
make things better.
Suffering go away, make things just a little bit better for people, get rid of Alzheimer's would be great. I know they're making great strides on cancer.
Yep.
There are certain types of cancer now that you don't worry as much about anymore.
Yep.
The rest I hope will follow.
Mm-hmm.
And then, man, Alzheimer's is a monster I'd love to see get tackled.
Yeah.
I don't know if this country, with us pausing and cutting and stopping funding to all of the medical research, whether that's good in the long run, bad in the long run. I think that there's a lot of people counting on that type of research to make their lives richer, fuller, longer. And so we'll see what happens. But for now, it's dire wolves, I guess.
Yeah. Real quick before we tap out, just because I know there's a couple things coming this weekend, but get online, poke around. Easter stuff is starting to happen. This weekend, Easter Bunny, get out, get your photos with the kids, all those things. You have to poke around. I only seen a couple. Mm-hmm. One was for next week here in town, and the other one's actually down in Morley is this weekend coming up. But
is that right? I thought it was. I thought it wasn't until next weekend. But
yeah.
Well, you better check Facebook.
Yeah, get on Facebook. It's happening now. So if you want pictures with Easter Bunny,
already is still 2 weeks, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's in 2 weeks.
It's not.
It's the 20th.
Is that right? Oh my gosh! It's not this weekend. It's next weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So, just a reminder: get out there if you haven't. It will sneak up on you, and all of a sudden you're sitting at home and you didn't know about the Easter egg drops.
Plus, if you're looking to put your Easter baskets together, Joann Fabrics and whatnot, I think they're still closing stuff out. Yep. Pop in there for some deals. So
yeah, I just want to make sure we mention that. We could talk about more of them next week, but
Dom. What did we screw up this week? Anything you want to help us fill in the gaps?
If you bring your phone to Augusta, you will be immediately asked to leave the premises.
Oh my. Whoa.
Okay. They don't play.
You leave it in the car, huh?
You leave it in the car.
Wow, you don't even take your phone onto the grounds.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't remember being without my phone for more than an hour or so
That
in
one
a
time
long,
I forgot it
long
at
time.
home and got all the way to town and then turned around to go back and get it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I would have gone a day or the better part of a day with no phone. Probably since the return.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
Since I went on the return the first time.
How would I get photos of
That was like
and
3
all
years
my
ago.
heroes? And, yeah.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
That'd be wild. Okay, buddy,
Also,
thank you.
The top 3 karaoke songs of all time: "Sweet Caroline" by Neil Diamond,
Don't Stop Believing.
"Bohemian Rhapsody" by Queen.
Okay.
That's got some high parts.
That's a lot.
And
tricky
"Don't
parts.
Stop Believing" by Journey.
I know it.
Pat called it. Yeah, that's another
wouldn't have
tricky
guessed.
one. Those are not one of those. I would think it would be Space Cowboy or something like, you know.
Back to your point about pitch.
I'm
right?
a picker.
People don't
I'm
care.
a grinner. You know, like that type of stuff. I see those a lot. Country songs too. I can't
yeah.
believe something like "On the
Garth
Road
Brooks.
Again" or
I Got Friends in Low Places.
something like
I've heard that one
What
every
was that
time.
love song that was a country love song? It was the other guy with the cowboy hat.
Billy Ray Cyrus?
No.
George Strait.
George
Yes.
Strait?
Yeah, I think it was that guy. One of his classic love songs that just is like timeless. I would think those would be up there. But all right, what else you got?
That's it. I've got
Okay.
some useless information about Augusta National if you really
please.
want that.
Yes.
Started in 1934.
Okay,
It
so
actually had
almost
a
100
name
years.
change. Happened in 1939. So in 1940, it became the Masters. Founded by Bobby Jones from The Legend of Bagger Vance,
Yep.
one of my favorite golf movies.
I love that movie.
And real life.
And-
He's
yes.
from the movie
Yes.
and real life.
Yes.
And in
Both
real
things.
life, yes. In 1948, General Dwight Eisenhower played Augusta before he became president.
Yeah, how about that?
When he could walk.
Pat,
I'm gonna cut that. All right, kids. You know what? That's what's up, Big Rapids. I'm your host, Chris Jane.
And I'm Pat Brooks.
And just remember, kindness is contagious. Be the example in this world that you want to see. All right, we love you. We'll see you next week. Hit the music.